MC of this event now for the 5th time.
Wow. No,
Yes,
it's my first time. Applause for Jafka. The 5th time. So it's my first time here, Jafka. So you'll be my teacher today. So, okay.
I welcome Jason amongst us.
Okay, thank you. Okay, before we start to the event, we just want to make sure that your phone is set to silent. Please just set all the phones on silent during the whole event.
And if it's not on silent, we have managed to not make you available because there's no Wi-Fi today. All the attention is here. Thank you so much for that.
Yes, and we just want to make sure you know that we'll be streaming this event today too. And also,
So they will have internet designated for the streaming. By the way, the reason we are speaking English is because of the streaming. I'm sure that everyone here speaks Papiamento and Dutch, but we aim for the international guests as well. And we know that people, we can see them over the, we can see people that are not here, and some of them will join us from abroad.
In case you need to use the restroom, you can go to the entrance, make a left, and then make a right. And on the right side, you'll see the restrooms for today. And last but not least, Jeffka?
Today is a very special day, Jason.
Yes, yes. Why, Jeffka? Tell us why.
Let's see. Everyone knows today we are celebrating the 26th year, I'm sorry, the 26th year that historic Willemstad was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List.
Congratulations, applause. A warm applause. Congratulations. The 26 years today, the December the 4th, we're celebrating the 26th year. Yes.
On December 4th, 1997, that happened, and we have been celebrating it every year ever since. And we have seen Willemstad growing and blooming ever since, indeed.
Definitely. Now, Jeffka, I think we're ready to start the event officially for today.
Well, there's just one last thing, and that is especially with regard to our networking endeavors. We all are wearing our name tag, and we see that not everyone has the same color. I will explain, or we will be explaining the colors.
Yes.
If you have a red tag, it is because you're an entrepreneur.
And if you have a yellow tag, because you're a professional, and a blue tag is a local investor.
Whilst the green tag is for the object owners. And the rest of us regular people
are empathies.
Orange tag, indeed. So when you are specifically looking for instance, an investor, or the investor is looking for object owners, you will recognize each other. The investor has a blue tag, and the object owner will have a green one.
Yes, definitely. And now, officially, we are ready now. Okay,
yes.
We are ready to start the event officially now by introducing the organizers of this Invest in Willemstad 2023. Receive them with a warm applause.
The first one is Mr. William Billy Jonker, President of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Curaçao.
And
Mr. With you. And also Mrs. Jeannette Bonnet, who is the interim CEO of CNEX.
A warm applause, please.
When they are getting here, we would like to remind you that you can see the sponsors of this event here on the right side of the screen, whilst the members of the steering committee are represented below. Yes, with you, Billy Jonker.
Maru, buen dia. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and a warm welcome to the Invest Willemstad 2023 Summit. On behalf of the Curaçao Chamber of Commerce, I would like to recognize the presence of our Minister of Economic Development, Mr. Lustrum Summit, and Urban Planning, Mr. Charles Cooper. We also acknowledge the esteemed representative of the parliaments of Curaçao, members of the Commission of Infrastructure. Your presence here today not only honors us, but underscores the collective commitment we share towards the significance of our downtown, our beloved World Heritage City, Willemstad. Especially on a day like today, where we celebrate the fact that our Willemstad was inscribed on this prestigious list 26 years ago. Special mention and thanks to Klaske de Boer for gracing us with her presence, embodying the spirit of true partnerships that has been driving force behind Invest Willemstad. We miss Hans terribly. We always mention the remembrance of Hans during our presentation, the initiator and true partner for not only Invest in Willemstad, but also Curaçao. And not only in words, but in actions. Bon mini as well to our participants through Zoom. Good morning or good afternoon, where you might be, that physically cannot honor us with their presence, but still have to do the interest in knowing what is going on to consider potential investment representing various corners of the globe. We have representation of Dominican Republic, Suriname, Colombia, Canada, Germany, the Netherlands, and United States. Last but not least, a welcome to you, local investors, investment objects, entrepreneurs, and professionals. Thank you for prioritizing this event and your very busy year-end schedule to be here with us. I will keep it short so that we can get down to business, review the latest updates on investments in Willemstad. The Chamber has a long history of being a startup of initiatives in favor of downtown Willemstad. From the creation of Downtown Management Organization, DMO, to the present report on duty-free shopping, to contributing to starting, co-organizing, and the annual continuation of Invest in Willemstad Summit, weathering the pandemic storms in 2020 and 2021. The Chamber proactively participates in Invest Willemstad Steering Committee since the start of the first physical summit in 2019. Because as we as Chamber and Curaçao have to do things differently to reach more favorable results, differently, but as a team. Back then in 2019, Rob van den Berg indicated that based on the research, there was a potential of 800 million guilders in investment in Willemstad for the next 5 to 10 years. In the meantime, we are 4 years after our first event. What do you think happened with this potential, seeing the pandemic hit Curaçao in March 2020 and continued another lockdown in 2021? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to tell you that based on personal experience and what you can admire with your own eyes, in every district that Willemstad did not stop moving during the pandemic years, and that a part of this potential is being realized today as we speak. Yet we believe we can do so much more and so much better collectively as a team, both in public and private sectors. We think it's important for you as local international investors, objects, or entrepreneurs to be aware of the developments, the possibilities, and the opportunities during and after the seminar. With every year that passes, we need to ensure that these plans do not remain on paper, but are translated into visible actions, projects, and results for Willemstad. It is of utmost importance to grab the chance to develop our downtown in districts such as Otrobanda, Pitarmay, Punda, and Scharloo, and continue to stimulate the growth. With the opportunities that are in front of us, we trust that this can lead to vibrating downtown with positive and innovative economic development for Curaçao in general. Our efforts will not stop here or continue on this level. We hope that we can gear up together and count on all stakeholders to organize another physical and more international summit, having international investors seeing these developments with their own eyes and feeling for themselves the Willemstad vibes. Ladies and gentlemen, as we analyze the different developments in each district, let us commit to providing for a full cooperation to their development and realization. An impulse in these projects will have a direct impact on our economic development, labor force, construction sector, and product development, resulting in new tourism growth and ensuring a vibrant World Heritage City. Before I conclude, a small piece of advice for all participants. Do not underestimate the quality of connections in this room. The badges might have some indications, but for some people in this room are wearing 2 or more hats and have a wealth of connections. Some don't have it written in their badges, but represent a group of Canadian or Dutch investors that send them on lookouts. Others are here like individual local investors or entrepreneurs, or even object, but are connected to several wealthy partners, connections, or individuals. Even our sponsors and invitees are very well connected. Seize the opportunity during the coffee breaks and this afternoon during the networking to shake some hands, speak up about what you're looking for or what you're offering, because it's this valuable moment of networking have the potential to forge valuable connections that will be the catalyst for boosting our downtown Willemstad. To our online attendees, thank you for remaining in the loop and expressing interest in opportunities unfolding in our World Heritage City of Willemstad. Thank you for your attention. We hope you have a successful summit, and let us continue progressing on this journey together. Thank you.
Bon dia. Protocol has been established. Excellencies, distinguished guests, esteemed investors, entrepreneurs, building owners, and all attendees of the Invest in Willemstad Summit 2023, a warm welcome to you all. Today marks not just another chapter in the history of Willemstad development, but a significant milestone as we celebrate the lustrum edition of this summit. As we convene in the historical setting of the Maritime Museum here in Scharloo, we reflect on the past successes and look forward with renewed vigor and vision. Willemstad, celebrating today its 26th anniversary as a World Heritage City, is more than just a picturesque destination. It is the heart of Curaçao's culture and economic vitality. This year, as we commemorate the 5th anniversary of the summit, we are reminded of the strides we have made and the potential that lies ahead. Our city is a blend of culture, heritage, and modern ambitions, making it a unique destination for investment and development. As we gather here today, we stand at the crux of a new era, an era where Willemstad is poised to become again the most beautiful and dynamic city in the Caribbean. Our goal goes beyond aesthetics. We aim to create an environment where it is not only pleasant to walk around, but also has more residential, which makes it a more lively city for our residents and tourists worldwide. The potential of investment in real estate, particularly in our monuments and historic buildings, is immense. By preserving our heritage while adapting to modern needs, we create a sustainable model for urban development. This summit is a platform for you, the investors, entrepreneurs, and building owners, to explore this opportunity, to network, and to learn from each other's experiences. We are here to discuss not just investment, but also the potential benefits of such ventures, benefits that extend to our community, our economy, and our cultural legacy. The policies and initiatives we will explore and designate to ensure that investing in Willemstad is not only profitable, but also contributes positively to our city's fabric. CNEX is committed to supporting you throughout your investment journey. We believe in creating a business-friendly environment, one that facilitates growth, innovation, and collaboration. This summit is a testament of our commitment to bring together diverse stakeholders and fostering a community of forward-thinking individuals. As we proceed with the summit, I encourage each one of you to engage actively, ask questions, and share your visions. Let's collaborate to unlock the full potential of Willemstad, making it not just a hub for investment, but also a beacon for culture and progress in the Caribbean. In closing, I extend my heartfelt gratefulness for your presence and participation. Together, let's shape the future of Willemstad and celebrate the spirit of Curaçao, especially during this month. Thank you.
Thank you so much to both of the representatives of the organizing committees. I would like to now go to the next part of the program, and that is the official opening. You have all officially been welcomed, but now the summit will be officially opened. This will be done by Mr. Seintje. Yes, by Mr. Seintje, who is the Minister of Economic Development. With you all, Mr. Ruisandro Seintje.
Thank you, Jafra. Protocol has been served. My colleague, Minister, Mr. Cooper, thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, bon dia, bon simang. Good morning, esteemed guests. Welcome to the 5th edition of the Investment in Willemstad Summit, a proof of the enduring commitment to our city growth and prosperity. Today, we embark on a journey to transform Willemstad into not just a city, but a smart, vibrant hub, a jewel in the Caribbean crown. As we celebrate the 26th anniversary of Willemstad UNESCO World Heritage status, we also envision a future where our inner city become a guiding light for our people, tourists, digital nomads, all by all, a thriving community. Picture this: monuments renovated and used optimally, street full of beauty like art, landscaping, and lights, shop bustling with shoppers and attractive goods, residents with lovely charm, and leisurely spaces creating unforgettable moments. Our new vision for Willemstad will be more than a concept. It is committed to smart and sustainable development. We are bringing the collaboration with ESG Collective, Vereniging van Nederlandse Gemeenten, ex-city manager for Gouda, Hans van Als, and other institutions in Curaçao and from various corners of the world to ensure that our efforts align with environmental, social, and governance principles. It is not just about building. It is about building responsibly and sustainably. Over the past 5 years, Invest in Willemstad has been the catalyst for transformative projects. The Wharf in Scharloo, West End in Otrobanda, Majestic in Punda, and the Paramount Hotel in Pietermaritzburg. Also the Plaza project by APC, and other initiatives, just to mention a few, contributing to our city evolution. But it's not just about grand project. It's about the careful restoration of houses, the conversion of spaces into new buildings, and the creation of boutique hotels, preserving our cultural, historical characters. In the coming years, Willemstad will evolve into a thriving urban heaven, attracting not only our people and tourists, but also young professionals, digital nomads, and remote workers. We are creating a city that offers not just employment opportunity, but a vibrant lifestyle, a place where work, living, and luxury seamlessly mix, a place where there is movement throughout the day and the night, a good infrastructure, and a good facilities. Our commitment goes beyond the summit. It is a dedication to collaboration, the involvement of the ESG collective proves our commitment to sustainable development, with emphasis on culture, ensuring that Willemstad become a model of environmental conscientiousness and cultural expression, a vibrant day and nightlife, attractive incentives, and a good mix of activities. As we navigate the next 2 days of presentation, networking, and discussion, let's seize the golden opportunity that Invest in Willemstad presents. Together, we will shape the future of this beautiful city, one that stands as a testament to responsible development, culture, preservation, and economic prosperity. If Willemstad shine, more investors will want to join, more entrepreneurs will establish themselves, and more people will want to live, and more will visit. Let this summit and celebration mark the beginning of a new chapter for Willemstad, where innovation meets tradition and where the heart of the Caribbean beats stronger than ever. I would like to congratulate the organizing team led by Rob van Berg and working closely with the Chamber of Commerce, Mayo, CNEX, VVRP, the Monumental Organization, and the Dutch representation. Thank you, and let's make Invest in Willemstad 2023 truly remarkable. Viva Willemstad.
Thank you, Mr. Saintje, our Minister of Economic Development. It's always good to know what the importance is of investing in Willemstad. Our State Secretary for Kingdom Relations, Mrs. Alexandra van Huffelen, will be joining us today through a video message to share her views on this topic.
Bon dia en bombini. Hartelijk welkom bij deze 5e editie van de Summit Invest in Willemstad 2023. Helaas kan ik er zelf niet persoonlijk bij zijn, maar langs deze weg wil ik u wel laten weten dat ik dit initiatief van harte ondersteun. We hebben dit initiatief te danken aan een man met een groot hart voor Curaçao, Hans de Boer. Ik weet zeker dat zijn naam deze dagen veel zal klinken. Dank ook aan Rob van den Berg en de stuurgroep. Zij maken het mogelijk dat u de komende dagen gaat ontdekken welke kansen Willemstad te bieden heeft. Voor ondernemers met lef. Ik weet zeker dat u, net als ik, enthousiast zult worden van de kansen en mogelijkheden voor het investeren op het eiland Curaçao. En wat bijzonder dat u juist vandaag hiermee een begin mag maken. Op 4 december, de dag dat Willemstad 26 jaar geleden haar werelderfgoedstatus van de UNESCO verkreeg. Als UNESCO werelderfgoed is Willemstad met recht een unieke locatie in het Caribisch gebied. En dat is ook precies het doel van Invest in Willemstad. Van Willemstad een plek maken waar het goed wonen en aangenaam vertoeven is. Voor zowel de lokale bewoners als voor toeristen. Maar ook een plek waar investeringen renderen. De rijke cultuur en de gedeelde geschiedenis met Nederland zijn op iedere straathoek zichtbaar. Ook de zware kant van de geschiedenis. Want Willemstad was een doorvoerhaven voor de handel in tot slaafgemaakte. Het plakkaat in het hartje van Willemstad, dat ik in oktober van dit jaar heb onthuld vanwege de rehabilitatie van de verzetstrijder Tula, herinnert ons hieraan. De afgelopen jaren is er in Willemstad ongelooflijk veel gebeurd. Van de ontwikkeling in Otrobanda en de kop van Scharloo tot Pietermaai. Van charmante boutique-hotels tot hippe restaurants en bars en verrassende kunstateliers. En met de toekomstige ontwikkeling van het Waterford Plaza project zijn de vooruitzichten ook heel positief voor Punda. Als gevolg van de pandemie in 2020 en 2021 heeft Willemstad en Curaçao flinke klappen gekregen. De COVID-pandemie heeft ons ook geleerd dat Curaçao, net als de andere eilanden, haar economische basis moet verbreden. Dat is ook de reden waarom we in het landspakket samenwerken aan de hervorming van de economie. Om een bredere economische basis te vormen die meerdere sterke pijlers heeft naast het toerisme. En hoewel de ontwikkelingen in de jaren 2020 en 2021 werden afgeremd, zien we dat Willemstad weer opleeft. Veerkrachtig en dynamisch is. En Willemstad is nog lang niet af. Daarom is het mooi dat met Invest in Willemstad zichtbaar wordt waar nog ruimte is voor ontwikkeling. Ruimte voor renoveren en innoveren. Voor bouwen, voor wonen en voor nieuwe economische activiteiten. Gedreven door particulier initiatief. Particuliere investeringen, particuliere ondernemers. Maar het is ook belangrijk dat de overheid haar faciliterende en ook vaak regulerende taak vervult. Als Nederland ondersteunen we daar ook bij. Onder meer via het landspakket. Zo wordt Curaçao aantrekkelijker voor investeerders. Denk aan de modernisering van wet en regelgeving voor de arbeidsmarkt. Het helpen verminderen van bureaucratie en de bijdrage aan gebiedsontwikkeling rond onder meer Colon. De afgelopen 2 jaar heb ik alle eilanden heel goed leren kennen. En Willemstad heeft een speciaal plekje in mijn hart. Ik hoop dan ook van harte dat deze summit zal leiden tot succesvolle investeringen. Waar de inwoners van Curaçao, maar ook de rest van het Koninkrijk trots op kunnen zijn. Veel plezier.
After the impressive words of all the speakers who went before her and Mrs. Van Huffelen as well, we have reached to the point where we will have a nice discussion with 2 ministers. You already saw one, but we also have the Minister of Traffic. We even have 3 of them. Very nice. Welcome, Mr. Our 3rd minister. So The three ministers we have with us and with whom we will have a short discussion is Minister of Finance, Mr. Javier Silvania, who just arrived. Thank you so much. Minister of Traffic, Transportation and Urban Planning, Mr. Charles Cooper. And of course, we already heard of him, Minister of Economic Development, Mr. Ruisandro Seintje. We welcome the three of them to
We would like
join
to,
us
yes.
in front, where we will have a short conversation with the three of them.
Of course, the microphones will be arranged on
For all of them.
for all of them before they come to the seats. So. So as ministers, each of you has something to tell us and to share about Willemstad as UNESCO World Heritage. Minister Cooper will discuss the residential parts, the traffic functions, the public spaces, as well as construction, renovation, and restoration in the city. Minister Seintje will focus on stimulating the economic activities, attracting investors and entrepreneurs, and has the responsibility to ensure that tourists visit Willemstad. And at last, Minister Silvania is responsible for ensuring that his fellow ministers receive sufficient funds to make Willemstad an attractive place to live, work, recreate, and visit. Additionally, he provides fiscal incentives such as no transfer tax, tax on investments, and tax holidays for tourists. However, we have a few questions for each of you. We'll start with Mr. Cooper.
Minister Cooper, how do you envision Willemstad looking in 10 years, according to you? I think that
Oh yeah, and it's
yes, they are wearing their microphones, but that is for the streaming, but they will need the additional microphone.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yes, song. Good morning, and thanks for the invitation to this platform. And it's great to be back here. I think it's my second year now, or third year? Yeah, third year. You had one here at Via Maria, then the second in Pieter Maai.
Pieter Maai and this one.
Indeed, times fly. The question, 10 years, wow. Let me try to envision. I envision Willemstad in 10 years from now, more people living in Willemstad, so housing. Also, for the part of infrastructure, we envisioned to have more people walking in the street instead of cars driving. So let's say shared street is one of the points that we are working towards this. For example, we already have a project for Bredestad Oterbanda, road beginning from Rodeweg then into Bredestad. That will become a shared street. Also in Wilson Papagodet in Pieter Maai, Wilson Papagodet Straat, that will also become a shared street. So that is the part of infrastructure. The part of giving more permits for people, investors to invest in Willemstad will be ongoing, because we believe in that, making Willemstad, as my colleague said in his speech, more vibrant. But I have to also post here what I call a threat. Maybe it's not a threat, but I call it a threat, in the sense of I'm seeing that from Paris, so where we are on the list of UNESCO, I see that we are getting, every time we go there, we are getting almost a restriction to develop in the height. And I went to Holland there with our colleague, which have the link to Paris, try to convince them that Curaçao is a small island. We don't have not much space anymore. So we cannot keep going flat and flat. We have to go high. But still, the advice coming from UNESCO is really, let's say for us, negative. For example, the project of APC. I think they don't know yet about that advice. I have it on my table. And it is not so good for that development. But I believe in that development. I think we have to go for it. And I think that the building of today will be the heritage of tomorrow. So I think also Paris and all who have that mindset have to change. We have to permit also in Willemstad at least some area in Willemstad to go high. For example, if we see now the building very high it's a mark point for me and for the government, that Hotel Plaza, so the high there. But in perspective of UNESCO, that have to come down. And when you bring it down, you can never more go high. Otherwise, you are risking to be downgraded from the list. And Caroline sits here, yellow. I told her, okay, tell me as minister, as government, what is the benefits, and I posted also here, real benefit to be on that list of UNESCO. I want real benefits. And she told me, you cannot quantify the benefits. It is a choice of a government, or you want to be on that list, and that brings certain responsibilities, or you're not on the list. But benefit itself, that was she answered to me, you don't see real benefits. Now, I posed the same question to this audience. I want to be convinced what is the benefits to be on the list. Why I want to get the answer to that? Because I'm thinking that at the moment, we want to expand, we want to invest, and investment should come with a return on investment. And if you cannot go high in Willemstad, I think that will be that it will maybe impede to people to invest. Maybe the investors can in this room can give their thought on that. Also, so that is a question, and then I move forward to answer continue to answer the question. One of the challenges I have in the department for a long time before our time as government is our entities in this sense. I'm talking about ROP. We need real quick, and I told my colleagues in the Council of Ministers, ROP is such important department that if ROP is not working good, the whole economy will strive, will keep going behind, in the sense of the permits cannot timely be given to the investors. At the moment, we are doing some jumps, putting some professionals which was formerly working at ROP, but we have to put more people, attract more people. For example, we are now in 2024. I told Caroline, let's go to contract an urban planner. We need an urban planner desperately in that department. Also, we are currently with domeinbeheer working. That's one of the landenpakket which staatssecretaris have spoken about. We are working with domeinbeheer and some professionals to identify and all the properties of the government in the whole Curaçao, but we're talking of and invest in Willemstad. So also in Willemstad, not only by seeing them and register them, but also go via a taxation of them, so that we know the value, and after then we will see as government what we want to do with our property. Do we have to sell them to the investors? Do we have to give them an erfpacht, long lease, or whatever? But at the moment, we are in this project, in this process of identify them and put what their value is, and then we will see what we can do to offer them also maybe to investors in Willemstad. So that's globally what in 10 years, what we are trying to do and what is the vision. So in 10 years, basically, I want to see more activity in Willemstad, because at the moment, if you let's say do not think about Punda vibes on Thursday, actually the city is dead. Pieter Maai, okay, but the other parts of Willemstad, Scharloo, Outra Banda, and even Punda, beside the Thursday, what you have the Punda vibe, it is dead. So we have to come and take decision so that we have more horeca. And before I close my answer, I also see a very big threat for investing in Willemstad. That is, people have to understand, if you come to live in Willemstad, you will live in an area that...
No parking.
No, parking is one thing. We are solving the parking. But the noise...
It is a city.
It is a city. So we are seeing people dragging each other to court. And that is very negative. If you come to live in Willemstad, you know that there will be noise. Otherwise, you have to live in other place. Let people who want to live in Willemstad that don't have problem with some noise in certain hours of the day. That is also important.
It's like living in the big city, like the Big Apple, and still wanting it to be quiet. Not possible. There's a very interesting question posted here. I would like to leave it for 1 second because we have a few questions for the two other ministers as well. But I think that many of you are really thinking about the true value of having our city on the World Heritage List. So we will get back to that question. Is there anyone who would like to answer it later? Yes, there are a few answers. So we will get back to you. But first.
Yes, speaking of World Heritage City, Mr. Risandro Sainche, what do you do to promote awareness of the World Heritage City among tourists from Europe, Latin America, and North America?
Okay, thank you for the question. But I cannot wait to the end to react on my colleague.
You may.
Yes.
Yeah,
You may.
because for me as minister, it is very important to be on the list of UNESCO because I use it as a marketing strategy. So that is one of the great benefits that we have. But I agree with you because we work close together, and I believe that we have to invest in Willemstad. So for me, the point is to convince them that indeed we have to be on that list, but still we have to invest in modern building and not like copying the same structure. Because nowadays tourists want to visit island that they can learn more about. And being on the list of UNESCO, it's attractive. It's
unique.
It's unique, and that we are selling right now as being on the list of UNESCO as a small island in the Caribbean.
1 second. Is that what you guys would want to answer anyway? No? You agree with Mr. Cooper? You agree with Mr. Saintje? So
Nobody agree neither.
Yes.
They have something completely different.
I
to bring
think we
forward.
we have a few minutes,
may,
so we
may,
will go.
may I say shortly?
Yes.
We
Is
we
this-
can get out of
Please, would you mind standing up?
if we decide to not be on the list, then we have to take the responsibility of keeping the downtown, the Spuna Otrabana as it is. The responsibility will come to us. Just let's say the Curaçao.
Anyway,
That's how I agree with that.
Hi,
yes.
Amber Lucas. I work in marketing and storytelling. Something that I haven't quite heard yet that I think is very important is when we talk about investments and we talk about UNESCO World Heritage Sites is, yes, investing in property, investing in new developments, investing in what we already have is very important. And I think that also includes our communities that live here. So while we want to create new developments, create new things that will attract tourism and retain tourism, I think it's very important to realize that when we invest and keep this UNESCO World Heritage Site title, that we also need to realize and acknowledge that we are investing in local communities that already live here. We cannot hope to attract new tourism if we're not investing in the communities that make Willemstad and as a whole Curaçao a vibrant community. By investing in them, we will create a society that tourists want to come to learn from. That's a big part of it. It's the culture of Curaçao. I think that's something that I haven't quite heard yet, and I think that's very important to acknowledge.
Thank you so much, Amber.
Okay. Maybe it's not sharp enough, my question. Let me put it sharply, because all what my colleague is saying, and also what the last lady saying, you can do the same, you can reach the same, you can market in the same, like the Curaçao, historic Willemstad, not UNESCO historic Willemstad. Forget about UNESCO for one time, because we have a monument law. So I'm talking about touching the monument law. In the Willemstad, we have most of the monuments, and that will be preserved. I'm talking sharply on give me what is tangible on being on the UNESCO list. That is basically, we can sell our island, our Willemstad as historic. You can keep doing that marketing. But if we are seeing like a project now, an APC project, pension funds project, who want to demolish what we have there in Curaçao Plaza, to have a new building, a new vibrant piece of Willemstad there, and we are getting a negative advice to that project as it is. And that project, we have changed it maybe 5 or 7 times. And still we're getting a negative from UNESCO. Then my question will be, if I want to keep on that list, or we have to keep moving on and change the strategy now instead of UNESCO Willemstad, no, it will be historic Willemstad. That is my question to you. I want to prikkelozen.
Yes, it's very good, and I would like to just have one member of the audience reacting on that part, and afterwards we have many very interesting questions, not alone about the economic parts, but also, of course, the ping parts, because someone will have to invest for others to invest in Willemstad. Yes?
Okay, to be very concrete, of course, we know that you have a lot of knowledge about the inner city and you have a vision about the importance of keeping the historical part of it. But we don't know who your successor is going to be. And right now, the UNESCO status is giving an extra layer of protection to make sure that anybody who follows after you is not going to say, oh, look, they got their wishes with the Plaza project. There's this big high rise. So let's tear down the Handelskade and put, instead of the modern buildings on the Handelskade, we're going to put something that's 15 stories high. So I think that the UNESCO World Heritage part is giving an extra layer of protection to make sure that also the investors that are going to invest their money in the city now have some added protection to know that the city, in the way that it is now and in with the extra historical value that it is now, is going to keep that way for a longer period of time.
That's not true.
Thank you.
What you say is not true. It's not true. So
Monuments.
The monuments law you can change it.
You cannot throw nothing down because they are protected by the law of the monuments.
Yeah,
So,
but the law can be changed.
Yeah, no, but I think it is a good discussion, but what I'm thinking about is being on the UNESCO list give you some privilege. So it is worldwide. It is it's very unique being on that list. It gives you some more marketing strategy, think about strategy to attract tourists from Europe all over the world. But still, I agree with you, and you know that we have to see to develop new investment to new building. And what I see is that once this new building, they have to be different. That's why I agree with the project of APC, because it's not like a copy paste of a copy.
The same.
It's like
the same infrastructure, the same.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. So
yes.
It's not like it's a
Replica.
A replicate. So it's something completely different. So you will see the difference about the old building on the list of UNESCO and the new ones coming in. So you create a more vibration.
It
and that's why I'm going. So that's why I agree that we have to convince them that still we will remain on that list, but we have to keep investing in new building that's not as look like as a duplicate of those building on the UNESCO list.
I noticed that we have the wharf is the wharf is
something new
outside.
Yes, it's outside the zone.
Is it true? The wharf is outside. No, it's here, but it's outside the zone. Is that correct? It's part of the zone. I think that we have found one terrific subject to discuss later on today during our coffee break and the lunch break, but also later.
But very easy. The point is you have to see your surrounding neighbors. That's why the wharf could have been that high. But there, the neighbor of Plaza is not so high. So Plaza cannot be the same height of the wharf. That is the point.
We will maintain this subject to be discussed further. One second before we continue, we would like to recognize the presence of our Member of Parliament, Mr. Renox Kalmis, who has also joined us. Very nice having you. Many important stuff to think about. Okay, We will continue with the Minister of Economic Development. Because we have
I think a part of the answer already we have been discussing, because it's about creating more awareness about our culture, our smart, vibrant.
yes, but how to do it? We have a specific question.
Yes, because we have a lot of vacancy in Punda and parts of Scharloo. So as a minister, can you, for instance, promote measures like tax-free shopping to attract more investors and stimulate economic activities in those specific areas?
Yeah, you have to do that. You have to also, indeed, we have bring some professional to help us to develop the vision that we have, to include the social economic aspect also in the city, and also try to bring attraction like tax incentive and things like that to make it more attractive.
But is there anything already being done?
It is right now being done. We are at the table with other stakeholders in the Punda and in the neighbor, so to start work on the vision that we have to make Punda more attractive.
So, Mr. Silvania, we are now all looking at you to help realize this vision of making Willemstad more vibrant. Of course, we have investments sitting here. We have other investors who are doing it from the side of the non-public sector, but the public sector. What about the government? How will the government financially do some investment to help reach this vision?
Thank you for your question. It's a very good question, but we need to look at all these historic buildings that are private owned. Most of these buildings are in the hands of old Jewish families, and most of them don't live anymore on this island. That is the reality. And these buildings are empty. We have tax incentive. At the end of the day, these buildings are still empty, and nobody wants to renovate this historic building. That is the reality. So our tax system, our tax incentive, I don't know the reason, but the reality is it does not work enough. It's to give new life to Punda. So I look to you because you look to me as the government. The reality, the government don't have enough money. The government cannot invest in private buildings. There are the owners who need to invest in their buildings. And maybe these owners don't have enough money to invest. I can tell you about one of the projects I'm encouraged at this moment. Is the law on online gaming. The law on online gaming, we have very good understanding with the downtown management, because if the parliament passed this law, the operators will establish in Curaçao. They need to rent an office in Curaçao. They need to have local employee in Curaçao. And we encourage all these people to invest in Punda and Outra Banda and Scharloo. And they are ready to invest. Because I think we can give another function to this building as office spaces. And then also for cafe and restaurant. We need to give new life to Punda. But I think we need to attract foreign investors to Curaçao. That is what we are doing. And it will not cost the government any penny. No, we expect that you guys who are the owners of this building and foreign investors give new life to Punda. You have a question, John Kerr. You have a question?
Yes, I have a question. You're talking about people private owning buildings. My question is, Why isn't the government in town? Why is the government in Parera, in Piscadera, all over the, why don't we come into the city? Government has buildings in the city. I mean, if I might just say, thank you for helping us with the tax on duty free. I understand it's going to the parliament and it's going to that system that will help. But my question to you is, can we not start getting the government back into Willemstad?
Yes, I think that is a good point what you make, and that is this government will aim to that also. That's why I'm one of my part of my answer of my question was, domeinbeheer at the moment is, let's say, registering. Then we have to do the waardering, dus the appraising. And after that, we will let every, let's say, part of the government, every ministry, to choose the building that they have to invest in. For example, the bestuurscollege building, now are two ministries is fighting for that building. So you are not hearing that, you heard it for the first time. So Minister of SOA want to be there, but also the Minister of OAS want that building. But that building will be quantified, appraised, registered, appraised, etc. So we are going through all our buildings all over Curaçao, but we're talking today about Willemstad. So the building that we own that are currently is not used will be used in the future. And then we will size down. For example, VVRP, we already said that we are moving to where BPD was. So in Radio in the neighbor of her. So VVRP is now renting for so many per month on Ararat Hill, and we will not keep doing that. So we are coming in our, so we are moving that for the first time. Gabinete Pisas Dos is moving toward what you want.
I'm not sure if everyone heard that right. I did. I would like to thank the ministers. I am not done with the conversation, not at all, but I'm limited by the timeline. We have the next people who also would like to share. They want to do their storytelling. But as the government has always been part of this summit, I'm sure that for next year they will be part of it as well. And I know also that the government is always thinking with the investors in order to make things happen. And we will be hearing that in the stories that will be told, how the government was always involved in everything that has been developed. For now, I can tell you that later on today, we will see in any event Mr. Cooper again for a very special part of the program that will take part at about 4 o'clock. So we will be seeing him again, and maybe we will continue with a discussion right there and then. For now, thank you all, Mr. Cooper, Mr. Silvania, Mr. Seintje.
Thank you. Applause.
The next part of the agenda of the program will be about storytelling, and we will hear stories about the city of Willemstad and Curaçao from 4 different people. We would like to call all 4 of them forward.
Mr. Paul Stockerman is the Managing Director of Carmabi. He's talking about the mangrove park. A warm applause, please. Mr. Hans van Aals is a former city manager of Gouda. He will be talking about the importance of city management.
We also have Mrs. Corina Regales, who will be talking about a very interesting topic, which is the Waterford Plaza, as was mentioned a few times before. She is from Algemeen Pensioenfonds Curaçao, APC. And the fourth one will be Guy Kozijns of Chamber of Commerce and Industry, who will be sharing information about the retirement community in Willemstad. We would like to see all four of them. Sometimes there are two of them for one story. I'm missing Miss, there she is, Miss Regales, and Guy Kozijns is the Hans van, oh no, I'm not, there he is. Yes, because I saw him before. Yes, and we have also Dennis there together with Guy Kozijns. Every one of them have something to share with us, a nice story about their projects. We will start with Guy Kozijns and Dennis there of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry about a retirement community in Willemstad. What can you tell us about that? I'm sorry, yes. Yes. Okay, so we will start first with Hans van Aalst, and everyone will get their chance. It's no problem. The first one will be Hans van Aalst, former city manager of Gouda or Gouda, about the importance of city management. There he is.
Yeah, good morning, Bonsimang.
You may stand if you want to. Yes. Yes. Okay. They're standing up because they want to see the presentation as well. But later on, we will talk with everyone together.
Okay, I have been requested to talk about city management. I will first introduce myself and then discuss city management previous projects I have worked on and the assignments I am currently involved in regarding the inner city of Willemstad. My name is Hans van Aalst. I'm 48 years old, was born in Eindhoven in the Netherlands, and I have been a proud resident of Curaçao since July 2022. My profession is city manager. In addition to owning multiple stores for 20 years and serving as a council member, I acted in various leadership roles. Oh no. Even terug. Since 2015, I'm specializing in city management, participating in the Center Management Academy, attending various masterclasses, and most importantly, practicing as a city manager in different cities. In addition to my role as a city manager, I have established and facilitated a regular coordination body for the province of South Holland, bringing together all the medium-sized and large cities, and it has been successful in sharing challenges and knowledge among them and with the province. On Curaçao, I'm currently active for Punda and the entire inner city of Willemstad via my company Masters in Opportunities. The city management concept is used for various purposes. Today, I will focus on city management in its broadest sense. City management, as the name suggests, involves managing an inner city. There are various interests among stakeholders, which sometimes seem miles apart. Additionally, the ambitions of stakeholders are often high. The only way to achieve tangible results is through collaboration. An entrepreneur needs an optimal location to sell goods or offer hospitality services. A property owner is concerned with the profitability of their real estate, and the government benefits from an economically attractive inner city while preserving its unique character. These are some aspects that concern different stakeholders. Of course, there are many more parties and desires. Achieving these goals requires effective collaboration among all parties, emphasizing the importance of sustained cooperation and shared responsibility. I have only mentioned 3 key stakeholders in the inner city, but there are of course many more. In the case of Willemstad, this includes the government, entrepreneurs, property owners, cultural institutions, monument preservation, urban restoration, the Tourism Board, Curaçao Port Authority, and various other groups, including residents. These parties can collectively contribute to creating an attractive inner city. Why is an attractive inner city crucial? An appealing inner city serves as the island's showcase. Both residents and tourists want to spend time in an attractive inner city, leading to expenditures and consequently income. This income results in successful businesses, increased property values for owners, and various benefits for the government, including rising income and significantly increased employment, positively impacting the island's overall image. Various goals may be important to the involved stakeholders. By achieving these goals together, a sustainable inner city becomes the outcome. A thriving inner city can adapt to trends, seize opportunities, and navigate possibilities. Working towards a resilient and attractive inner city turns it into a magnet for visitors and residents, yielding numerous positive consequences. I already mentioned some benefits on the advantage slide, but these are just a selection of the outcomes achievable through collaborative efforts. Specific future wishes may be attainable through shared efforts, whereas they might stagnate when pursued by a single stakeholder. On the next slide, I show you an example of how the process typically works. Identifying urgency or the need to achieve goals, collaborate, clearly define these goals together, translate them into projects and annual plans, implement the plans, and evaluate whether the desired results have been achieved during and after implementation. In the past, I've had the opportunity to guide various places in the role of city manager, facilitating collaborations and achieving diverse goals. In Zeist and Gouda, initially there were no existing collaborations. In Zeist, we established collaboration combining Zeist DNA with a city center. Here I am pictured in the center with an eliminated panda bear and someone from the World Wildlife Fund located in Zeist. The surrounding forests of Zeist were reflected in more greenery in the center, and new entrepreneurs joined who resonated with the established DNA. In Gouda, we initiate collaboration with existing business associations, but set up a sustained collaboration involving property owners, entrepreneurs, cultural institutions, and the government. Gouda is globally recognized for its cheese, and we emphasized this by making the cheese capital of the world visible in the inner city. By igniting the city's DNA with shared goals, even during the COVID-19 pandemic, we ensured the inner city stayed resilient and limited vacancy of buildings. Now back to Curaçao, where I am currently working for Willemstad. I'm developing a vision plan for Punda on behalf of DMO and writing a terms of reference, a TOR, for the entire inner city on behalf of CTB and the government. Drafting these plans involves considering everyone's interests and fostering collaboration among various stakeholders. Positive outcomes can also be achieved for investors through these efforts. The goal is to gain insight and collectively capitalize on opportunities. Willemstad has all the ingredients to be a valuable place for both Curaçao residents and returning tourists. Working together is winning together. That's the ultimate goal of city management, and I am committed to that. Investing in the city center of Willemstad is an opportunity to participate in a capital city in the Caribbean that is becoming even more attractive. If you have any questions, I will be happy to discuss them. You can send me an email at jcmvanalst@gmail.com. Thank you for your attention, and I hope to see you in the inner city.
Thank you so much, Mr. Van Aalst.
And next, we would love to invite, yes. And next, we would like to invite Mrs. Corina Regales. She's from Algemeen Pensioenfonds Curaçao, APC. She will be talking about Waterford Plaza. Receive her with a warm applause, please.
Bom dia, everyone. My name is Corina Regales, and I will be presenting today on behalf of APC about our urban development project called Waterford Plaza. Now, this morning, it was already mentioned a few times, and also with some new information, so I will maybe have to make some adjustments along the way. But yeah, I'm excited to give you a short explanation on where we stand with the project. Before I start going into the project, I would like to take a moment to shortly introduce APC. APC, for those who are not familiar with the organization, stands for Algemeen Pensioenfonds van Curaçao. It is the national pension fund for civil servants and also civil-related entities. One of the largest pension funds on the island, serving about 22,000 members. Active for many years, so a lot of experience in that sense also with the local economy. And we manage assets together worth about 5 billion guilders, and we do that by investing in international trade, providing local financing, and also various real estate projects. So also, if you're interested to reach out to us for potential investment, financing, but also to discuss real estate projects, please feel free to do so. Now, how did we get involved with Waterford Plaza? It actually started about 4 years ago on this very stage of Invest in Willemstad, where in 2009, APC was one of the many participants in this first edition of this summit. Where actually the Plaza Hotel, the former Plaza Hotel, was one of the many properties that was shown as being on sale. Just a little over a year later, APC decided to buy the former Plaza Hotel and also with plans to really develop this into a new area for the city center. Now, why did we take this step? A huge step to take, especially in times of the pandemic. But we believe in the historic city center of Curaçao. We believe in Willemstad. And Punda, we see Punda has always having been the economic heart of Curaçao. And that is why we looked a lot into it. Was vibrant. If you hear past stories about how it was living and working in Punda, that's the kind of feeling and enthusiasm we want to bring back. Of course, in a new way and fitting with today's needs. Punda was therefore always the heart of the economic center with lots of trade, lots of commerce, a lot of diverse cultures as well. And also as a symbol actually of these times, you could see the former Plaza Hotel, which was one of the first of its kind actually. You can see here the picture in the middle before it even had the large tower, where it was one of the first of its kind, catering to first-class, exclusive tourism, stay-over tourism, which was actually kind of a signal for a new tourism era for Curaçao. Now, what are our ambitions with this project? So with all this in mind, we want to bring this revitalization back to Punda, bring it back to Willemstad. And we want to do that by attracting residents, retail, commerce back into the city center. We want to do this by using the strengths of the city, its history, but also, of course, its harbor and other very unique elements it has. Creating a livable city center that was already mentioned this morning, indeed making sure that we improve the environment so that people want to come work and also live in Punda, but also come to eat out, to shop, go out and just enjoy the city. Seeing the scale of the project and also its location within the UNESCO World Heritage Site, it is very important for us also to find the right stakeholders within the kingdom to make this project a success. And that is why also the joint effort with the necessary partners is very crucial in this process. Now, developing in a UNESCO World Heritage Site, you can imagine it does come with its challenges, long processes, but we also see a lot of opportunities. We do think, however, it is very important to see and understand those opportunities well. It's very important to do the necessary research, and we have done a lot to try to understand what are these cultural historic values that our city center offers and how can we use the project to actually enhance them. The project is situated with the current building actually attached to one of the most iconic historic monuments, the Waterfort in Curaçao, right at the entrance of the harbor. And we believe that the new development can help also give a push to restore and also bring new life again back into the historic Waterfort monument, and also in total become a new part of Punda. So we believe the old and the new can actually strengthen each other and create a nice, new, vibrant area to add to the Punda district. We also see developments in the city center as an opportunity to also attract a new kind of tourism. Tourism has been growing in Curaçao, and we think it's good also to diversify and see, can we focus on attracting more heritage tourists who are also focused more on art, history, and architecture. Aside from the historic values, we also look at future values like sustainability and the Sustainable Development Goals. We use them as kind of a guideline to help us along this way and to look how can we create more impact with this project. We want to create impact to make sure that the city center is sustainable, not only for the current generations, but also for the future generations, of course. And as you can see, it's not only about the technical side of sustainability, about the solar panels and energy, but it's also about sustainability in terms of social economic impact. Another important study we of end users that we think can together create a very vibrant and lively city, because each will have their own lifestyle, their each flow and daily rhythm, and together we hope that this will create a lot of great buzzing effect. We believe definitely in also creating a project that's a combination of both residents and for visitors, so it shouldn't be a purely touristic project in that sense. And we also want to do with the mix of functions that we will bring, that you will maintain but also attract talent to Curaçao, and therefore also help in that sense with the brain drain challenges that we have. At last, also the increase in tourism, as I previously mentioned, where we also see opportunities in new kinds of tourism. Now, an urban development project of this size, it's important to look also beyond the project border. And that is what the architect team did. They started out by looking at Punda on a district scale. They looked, okay, what are the opportunities and also the challenges and topics to keep in mind when we are going to make a master plan for Waterfort Plaza? A lot of topics, I will only highlight a few. For example, making sure that we increase the public spaces and their quality, increasing walkability. Parking is always a huge topic when we talk about developments within the city center, but also how to connect the site to other parts in Punda, but also to other districts, because in the end, you want a vibrant city center where people can walk freely and comfortable going from one district to the other. Now, coming to the program for the master plan, keeping all this in mind, we chose for a mixed-use program consisting of apartments mostly, a small boutique hotel, offices for entrepreneurs, also multifunctional space for culture, supporting hospitality and retail functions as well. So it should be a vibrant area, again, to target those different kind of target audiences that we have. We think this mixed-use program will create the necessary impact that Punda needs, as was mentioned already. Punda is maybe not right now in the greatest state, so it really needs a big push to help the city center again become this vibrant place that we have known it to be in the past. Other parts of the program include public space and also parking that is integrated into the plan. On the right side, you already start seeing some of the impressions of the master plan, showing how the area could come alive and how it could be used. I will say these are just renders indeed, and this is not the definitive architecture of the plan. Actually, this is where we are right now with the plan. This is the master plan where we are currently, where you see indeed that the existing Plaza Tower will be demolished, and in its place will be a new development on its own, not connected to the waterford, making that the waterford becomes a standalone structure again, where people can walk all along the 60 arches or above and see the city and create a new routing for the city center. You see also an elevated plaza on which there's parking underneath, and also the plaza serves to connect the buildings and also gain access to the waterford top. This is where we are currently in the process. Indeed, this is one of the last versions. There have been many before, and it's now up to us to see also how to continue with the next steps to work this out into the details. Now, as you can imagine, such a project, urban development within a historic city center, comes definitely with its challenges, and it takes a long time. It takes time to do it properly. It takes time also if you want to have good quality results. Now, we are also like you, we're not always too patient, so we want to make impact on the short term, and that is why we came up with Road to Plaza as a placemaking initiative that aims to make short-term impact within the city center. We do that by involving the community, by working with local university students, having workshops, stakeholder sessions, and we participate in various activities and events to celebrate our historic city center. For more information about the project, because this is just really the shortest version possible, you can pass by our project office at Gomez Plain in Punda, where we will have models and also more information we can share if you are interested. So please feel free to do so. And I want to leave it at that for today, in a nutshell, the project. But I would want to finish with a short video showing how nice it can be with an event, Waterford Festival, which we organized last year, the potential of the city center, the potential of this specific site, and how important it is that we bring activities back to our Punda.
Road to Plaza, APC a comissão invertir de revitalização de Punda e assim trazer vida back de nosso centro de cidade. O Festival de Waterford Plaza oferece uma experiência única, carregada com atividade de mundo educativo, cultural, musical e bem de informação para toda a idade. A celebrar também 25 anos de existência de Willemstad, riba a lista de Patrimônio Mundial de Unesco. Tour essa aqui estava um êxito rotundo. O festival estava de um nhapa e ahasi é sítio rico na história, uno vivo. O festival aqui nos di APC a demostrar viaje más con nos gente ng usa y experiencia no centro de ciudad. Así na mes, bang puno, bang di viaje con nos pa Road to Plaza.
Thank you very much.
Very interesting, regardless of all the difficulties, but we are sure that it's gonna happen. The next of our storytellers is Mr. Paul Stokkermans, who is the Managing Director of Carmabi, and he will be talking about another great project, which is the Mangrove Park. With you, Mr. Stokkermans.
Good morning. My name is Paul Stokkermans. I'm the Managing Director of Carmabi. That is to say for a few weeks more, because then I will be retiring. You see an image here of the mangroves. Mangroves are important, as most of you will know, to protect the coast against damage, when you have huge waves, and to protect the coral reef in the sea. I am going to start with a video. Images tell more than 1,000 words. So enjoy the video.
The Curaçao Reef Mangrove Park is a unique city park in the heart of Outrobanda. The park was officially opened in 2022 and is managed by the Carmabi Foundation. There are different ways to explore the mangrove park. Go on a stroll through the mangrove forest, following the boardwalk trail, and experience the beauty of the mangroves. Learn more about the 3 types of mangrove trees occurring on Curaçao and the many different animal species living in the mangrove ecosystem, such as birds, crabs, jellyfish, fish, and shellfish. Visitors who want to gain more in-depth knowledge on mangrove ecosystems and the history of the Rif Outrobanda area can opt for a guided walking tour with one of our park rangers. We also offer guided kayak tours to those looking for a little adventure. Kayakers will experience a closer encounter with our park's flora and fauna while enjoying and relaxing in the maze of canals. We look forward to welcoming you at the Curaçao Reef Mangrove Park.
For those of you that do not know Curaçao too well, the mangrove park is very close. You can even walk from here up to the mangrove park. Now, the mangrove park, as was told already, is managed by Kramabi. So I would like to introduce Kramabi. We are a foundation, and in our articles of incorporation, we have three objectives, being management of nature areas, research, and education. We are now talking about the park, so we are talking about management of nature areas. So we'll delve a little bit deeper into that. The parks that we manage right now are the Christoffel National Park, 2,300 hectares, which is our largest park. Then we have the Chetoboka National Park, 200 hectares. It's just adjacent to Christoffel. We are constructing a new park, being Rifsin Marie Hermanus. And then we have the Hetu Caves, we have the Curaçao Marine Park, and what we will talk about now, the Curaçao Reef Mangrove Park. It's only 16 hectares. It's actually not the smallest because the Hetu Caves are a bit smaller. Now here we have a map of the park. You see the pink routes, the pink tracks, that is the boardwalks, and the blue ones is the channels where you can kayak. Here you have an aerial view of the same area. Now, what is the mangrove park about? In a nutshell, it was previously a mangrove area used as a sewage dump. Then, during COVID time, a park was constructed by government, Curaçao government, to be more specific, the Ministry of Traffic, Transport and Urban Planning. The management was outsourced by the ministry to Kramabi. It's located in the inner city, so we are talking about a city park. That's important to recognize within this summit. It's located next to the mega pier. That's good to get a lot of cruise tourists visiting the park. You have kind of a captive market there. Then we have, it's also next to the Corendon Hotel. Actually, it is at both sides of the Corendon Hotel. You could also say we have a hotel in our park. It's just how we look at it. Lots of birds and sea life to be seen. And mangroves, of course. There's a network of boardwalks, of channels. Of course, they intersect. The channels intersect with the boardwalks. And where they intersect, you have bridges. So with the kayak, you go below the bridge. You continue when passing a boardwalk. It's relatively small, 16 hectares. Tours in general, more or less 1 hour. And to get an idea about the pricing, it's for local walk-ins, 2 guilders, and for tourists, 25 guilders. I will now show you a few images about the park, starting with the construction. Then, before the park was even opened, we had a well-known visitor, being Her Royal Highness, Princess Beatrix, who toured the park extensively and was very impressed by it. The park opened for the public on the 1st of July last year. It was a relatively new park. And these were our first visitors. And the child got a special tour by one of our rangers. We have the ticket office. The park is used a lot by our educational program. You know, many schools within our educational programs get tours inside the park. Also, during vacation time, lots of children visit the park as being part of out-of-school programs. Artists, painters love the park. They make a lot of paintings there. We receive groups, very often also delegations from abroad. And even sometimes the park is changed into a studio because people like to sing there and then make videos, you know, that they can put on Facebook and other social media. We also get, by the way, school children who have are celebrating their birthday. I want to have a photo shoot. So it's really a multi-purpose park. We do a lot about upgrading our personnel. This is a photo taken after a customer service course. And we get also important visitors. A few months ago, the Minister of Finance visited our park. And that's it. That was a short impression about the Curaçao Reef Mangrove Park, and we love to welcome you for a visit in the park. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stokkermans. It's a very important development in that area. Well, last but not least, we would like to invite Mr. Guy Kozijns and Mr. Dennis Dare. They're from the Chamber of Commerce and Industry Retirement Community in Willemstad. Welcome them with a warm applause, please.
Okay, good afternoon, or is it still the morning? I suppose morning, right? We have seen a lot of beautiful things today. Also, thank you for your presence, ministers, and also the parliament member, and each one of you as well. And we have a short video for you. So we would like first to present that, and afterwards we can discuss some questions or answer them.
In the heart of Curaçao, we present a unique investment opportunity. Our vision is to create a premium class retirement village. Our location is nothing short of extraordinary, with direct flights to and from the Netherlands, USA and Canada. At our modern international airport, you'll receive a warm welcome infused with local charm. Indulge in the comfort of our pristine beaches. Experience the joy of swimming with our dolphins, a true haven for retirees. We prioritize your well-being, and our state-of-the-art hospital is dedicated to delivering high-quality services that accompany you through a patient journey designed for optimal satisfaction. Our community offers premium amenities for a fulfilling retirement. Our healthcare follows the European Medicine Agency (EMA) and Food and Drug Administration (FDA) standard. We offer comprehensive care with independent and assisted living. The potential return on investment is promising, with ROIs ranging from 15, 20, 30% and above. The government fully endorses this venture with incentives and partnerships. The market is eager for retirement communities. Our project aligns perfectly. We can easily tailor the project's scale based on your investment goals. Uncover the retirement of tomorrow in Curaçao and join us in shaping a lasting legacy. Sustainability is a cornerstone of our project, ensuring long-term viability. We prioritize community integration and social responsibility. It's time for your questions. We are here to provide answers and insights. For more information and personalized discussions, here's how to reach us.
So once again, I would like to also tell you about my colleague, Guy Kozijns. So we, together with one other team member, which was Giovanni Melvar, it's a pity, but he passed away. But he also did the cash flow and financial projections. And in any case, we have seen quite some great potential in this continuous care retirement community. So we really believe this is a fantastic opportunity as a whole new sector for the whole of Curaçao, starting at Willemstad.
Good morning, everybody. Maybe you recognize my voice now, early in the video. Yeah, there's been lots of talks this morning about diversity, economic diversification, and the links to all the other sectors and activities in the community and on the island. Actually, to get back to the beginning of the journey, when we were thinking of setting up something like that, what you could call a new sector, we were thinking in terms of, okay, what can we do about the productivity level on the island? Because since almost 2 decades, it's, for example, central bank is showing that productivity levels are going down or staying at, let's say, a same level. And we thought, okay, what could one new activity be that could be very beneficial for the island, creating increased levels of productivity that maintain here? Because a retirement village, as I was hearing all these stories this morning, could be much more than a retirement village. It could be a learning center. It could be an exchange of older people who had their struggles in life, their successes, and that they could transform to the younger people. Because embracing the alignment with the local culture could be an incredible, let's say, like they say in French, potpourri. That means an incredible advantage to set up activities that really generate sustained and increased productivity levels. And to give you an idea, when we were thinking of a retirement community, we are thinking about a 5-star premium retirement community. We're talking about then the people with money that would love to be here on the island, spending their older days. On the other hand, you have to meet that, you have to match that with the quality, of course, yes? But that's a progress in the making that you would have to deliver.
So I don't know if you have any questions, or we would be, yeah. Yes, there are a number of them, and I'm happy to hear Mr. Cooper talking about that, about registering all these areas as well, apart from the Willemstad. But of course, you also heard about the APC project. So they also mentioned that elderly people can also stay there. So we hope that there are many more of these opportunities, because this is really a very great impact that we can develop in Curaçao. We have compared the US, the Colombia, the different markets, Mexico, also other areas in the Europe, Belgium even. We've even seen one there, and actually they confirmed that our figures were even better than theirs. So the calculations that we did on the potential of this market. And if you just think of what they charge in the USA for even entering such a continuous care retirement community, you would be amazed. But these details we can always provide as well.
You know, just a slip of the mind here, as Minister Cooper was talking about the UNESCO heritage for Curaçao, I was thinking of other heritage sites somewhere else in the world. And for example, I'm from Belgium, so you have a beautiful city in Belgium, Bruges, and that has at the marketplace a very high Belfort, maybe 10. If you would translate it into a stored building, it would be 10, maybe 12 stores. So I was thinking of, okay, the challenge you put up front to us to think about this, maybe the narrative is how to create history in the future. So maybe that's something, well, to spin the mind and think how such a journey could add to the cultural value of a heritage of the UNESCO.
Any more questions? Yeah.
Thank you. One of the reasons the chamber decided to make a study on this is we thought that Curaçao had was perfectly positioned for this type of market. We're outside of the hurricane belt, we have no earthquakes, we have great weather. And we said, let's look at the possibilities. And these two gentlemen did a study. And the study has shown that it's fantastic. The return on investment is incredible. But not only that, we have to look at the trickle-down effect of something like this. If you have your grandparents living here, you're going to come visit them. You're going to have people, you're going to need people here to take care of them. So we're going to have to get people trained at a higher level to take care of these people. So this project is open to anybody that says, hey, you know, I might want to do something like this, or the possibilities. We did a study for 256 houses. We did a study for 2,500 houses. There's also, you can also do apartments or whatever, but I think it's a great possibility. And I think that's the future of the island. Retiring here and living in a great, fantastic island. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Well, those were 4 very interesting stories. Jason, it's your first time participating as an MC at the Invest in Willemstad. I can tell you that during all 5 editions, I have seen projects being presented and afterwards see them in practice being built, being developed. So what is your experience having seen these?
The first part of the morning, I think it was wonderful. I mean, having words of the ministers and seeing the audiences and the presentations. I think it was great and a nice development for Curaçao. So we'll be staying tuned, right?
Yes,
to see
of course.
what this will bring.
We all know this old series, Golden Girls, about women living in Miami. So maybe we will have another one, but them living on Curaçao.
Yes,
because like Billy said, we have everything for it. So we have been sitting for quite some time now.
Yes, it's 11 o'clock. So I think it's a nice time to take a coffee break.
Yes.
So
stretch
our
legs,
socialize a little.
Yes.
And then we will be back here at 11:20, 20 minutes past 11. Then we will continue with the program we have for you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I wanna let you light up the world. I wanna let you light up the world. Wanna let you light up the world. I wanna let you light up the world. I wanna let you light up the world.
I think it's time to continue. We have a tight schedule today, so I think it's time to continue our program for today.
Yeah.
And our next speaker for today will be, ladies and gentlemen, we are continuing. I know the coffee taste is good.
The networking is even better. But for sure, we would like to hear about
Curaçao Heritage Funds.
and after that about Kaya Kaya, how it came to be and how it's now and how it will move forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. In the meantime, Walter will just start. Which Walter?
Walter Blijleven. He will talk about the financial parts of the Curaçao Heritage Funds.
Again, a ping story.
Receive him with a warm applause. Walter Blijleven.
Oké, bon dia, welkom nogmaals. Ik wil met jullie vandaag dus met name kijken. Sorry, it was English today, right? Yes. My apologies. So I wanted to make the unique selling points or the unique features of the Curaçao Heritage Fund. What we believe is connecting the monumental world with the financial world in Curaçao and also internationally. I think that has been the greatest achievement that Curaçao Heritage Fund has made since we started already 6 years ago with this fund. So connecting monuments, which sound like, hey, there's a lot of work to do, renovation, upgrades, and making money by connecting the financial world. That was really the challenge that we took on by combining again these worlds and make it, let's say, interesting, let's say, for the monument that there is a fund, and also make it interesting for the investors that there is a fund, that they can be proud of being part of such a journey, and also make some money in the meantime, which is of course very attractive as well. So we have a video of about 3 minutes, and after this video, I will introduce you to some, well, what I believe are key features of the Curaçao Heritage Fund that maybe can be an inspiration to you or something to learn from how to move forward with monuments in the future and how to maybe make money with it while doing something great for your country. So first the video, please. For about 3 million, and we issued DCSA listed bonds of about 8 million guilders. I will speak about the bonds a little bit later. So that gave us 11 million guilders in money to acquire real estate. Not only a real estate, but also some operations were already in that real estate, like a hotel or a restaurant or student housing. So yeah, now it's my turn, right? Yes. So it was launched by us in 2018. And what did we buy in the initial phase? That was a Pieter Meij Boutique Hotel, the student accommodation, the commercial spaces. There are 5 units with the commercial spaces. And only this year, we acquired 2 more properties. That is Villa Tocara, most of you well known, I believe, across the street from Avila Beach Hotel. And we are starting up a 50% joint venture ownership of Pieter Meij 67, 67, 69. And that is this picture. Again, I try to play with the tool that VNO gave me, and I'm a quick learner, I believe. So this is Pieter Meij 67, 69. As you can see, not ready yet to be used economically. But there are good plans, as I said, in a joint venture. So Curaçao Heritage Fund is going to join somebody else. And together we're going to renovate this beautiful property and also bring it back to life in the Curaçao Heritage Fund. And that's a pretty remarkable step for us as well, because in the first 5 years, from 2018 to 2023, we only invested in real estate that was, let's say, ready to go. Because in a fund, especially when you have new investors, you have to be a little bit conservative. You cannot have too much development risk in your fund. Because if the project goes a little bit south or it takes too long, your interest rates keep working on you. They keep pulling your money, and it can give a risky situation. But since this year, we have done a new round of investments. So the fund that was initially 11 million guilders is now at the level of 24 million guilders. We are a little bit more robust now. We have a little bit more experience. We have new investors on board, and that allows us, let's say, to gradually increase the risk profile of the fund, not only by buying, let's say, real estate that is ready to go, but also, let's say, to acquire real estate that needs a little bit of attention and then make it ready to go, let's say. Because then, of course, the impact that you bring to the island is much bigger than with real estate that is already renovated by the people that took care of the property before you. In our case, that was the Jewel investment group who renovated most of the properties that we bought in 2018. So what are now the unique selling points or unique features that maybe make Curaçao Heritage Fund a special fund? Well, we believe there are 3 important ones. And it was already mentioned when the Minister of Finance was still with us this morning that the Curaçao legislation has very appealing and very interesting tax incentives. So normally when you buy a house or you invest for your company, you get a 10% investment deductible. And in the case of investing in monuments, you get a 30% deductible. So 3 times as high, and that is serious money, I can tell you. When we bought, let's say, the assets in 2018, we really had a lot of profit from that tax deductible because it takes away the profit tax burden in the first years, of course. Furthermore, you don't, and this is also a very important one, you don't pay transfer taxes when you sell your real estate from party A to party B, which is, and together with some additional costs, that's a saving of 4.75%. That's not pocket change either. So that's a very appealing item in the Curaçao legislation as well. And last but not least, from the tax incentives, is that the people that invest in real estate by means of a loan, the interest that they receive on that loan, or in our case, on the bonds, the obligaties, that I will explain a little bit more to you later, it's also tax exempt. So once you receive that interest on your as a natural person or as a company, you don't need to pay income tax or profit tax over that interest. It's also exempted. These are really interesting features of the Curaçao law. Also, we decided many years ago to make the Heritage Fund a transparent company. What does that mean? In the US, they would call it a pass-through entity. It means that the Curaçao Heritage Fund is not, let's say, liable or taxable for profit tax at the level of the Curaçao Heritage Fund itself, but only, let's say, it's passed on, as they call it, to the shareholders of the Curaçao Heritage Fund. So if you have, let's say, 20% of the shares of the Curaçao Heritage Fund, 20% of the profit or 20% of the loss is being passed on to the shareholder, and he has to pay taxes over that 20% of income that he received from the Curaçao Heritage Fund. Well, that's also interesting still, because some of the receivers of that profit are exempted companies like insurance companies or even small pension funds. They don't pay profit tax. So when they receive, let's say, the income from the Curaçao Heritage Fund, at their level, there's no tax levied either. So maybe to you, this is some tax abracadabra, but it's really important feature that helps, of course, to make a decent return on monuments. Because as I said already earlier, it is a little bit complicated to start with monuments. They have, of course, a backlog in maintenance, they need upgrade, etc., etc. But with all these incentives, it smoothens the ride. And of course, it makes it very interesting to pursue this. Well, when you got 11 million guilders trusted to you, or in nowadays even more with 24 million guilders, you need to have good governance in place. You need to keep you got the confidence that people trusted their money with you. You have to keep the confidence that the people believe that their money is safe with you. So we invested in that too, Bharat and myself. So first of all, we have a supervisory board of directors that keep an eye on us. What is also very important that we have financial statements that are now audited. In the past, they were reviewed by an external auditor. So every year our books are checked, and that's public information. All our financial statements. I will get to that in a bit as well. And we are also, let's say, listed on the DCSX, the Dutch Caribbean Securities Exchange. And before we could start the fund, we had to be screened by the central bank. And because we are only targeting, let's say, well, high net worth individual investors so far, we only need an exemption from the central bank. We are not, let's say, completely supervised because of the way we operate. But there are many checks and balances for the investors to keep their trust and faith in the fund. Well, as I said, one of the key features, I believe, for the Curaçao Heritage Fund is that the bonds or let's say the obligaties in Dutch are listed at the DCSX, which means that they are publicly traded, if you can call it like that. We have in this summer, in June, we issued a new bonds of in total 16.5 million guilders. That's so then combined with 8 million now in equity, we have explains the 24 million in total assets. These bonds, let's say, are listed on the exchange and were marketed to all kind of different investors, both in Curaçao but also outside Curaçao. And you literally have, let's say, the dentist or the lawyer that buys one or two because the denomination is 50,000 guilders. But you also have, let's say, some small financial institutions that maybe purchase 20 or 40 of those bonds. So that's also very nice about issuing bonds, that you can attract very different kind of investors to your fund. And especially to us, it was pretty rewarding that you both have, let's say, individuals that give trust to you, but also some other financial institutions that give their trust to you by buying these bonds. Well, I see a representation of the board of the DCSX today present as well. We would like to have issued already bonds with smaller denominations, because 50,000 guilders is still a lot of money, of course. And we heard many stories of people that wanted to be in, but were not allowed by their bank to be in, because the bank are the brokers now most of the times for these bonds. And they felt that the 50,000 was a little bit too much of their total value. And they said, maybe it's not the right thing for you to invest at this point in time in the Heritage Fund. We felt that a pity. But on the other hand, the financial system has to be ready, let's say, to issue bonds of, let's say, 5,000 guilders or 10,000 guilders, because of course that would attract a much bigger crowd to these kind of funds. I think Curaçao Heritage Fund, maybe in 2028, when we are in the next, when we're starting the third 5-year period of the fund, maybe it's time then that the market is ready for smaller bonds of 5,000 or 10,000 guilders, so that more persons can be part of the journey of the Curaçao Heritage Fund. But for now, let's say, and that's a regulatory rule still being protected by the Central Bank of Curaçao Sint Maarten. Now the minimum is 50,000 guilders for each bond. Well, the interest percentage, as I said, is attractive for the first reason, because it's 5.5%. That's not bad. Although the rates are for the deposits at the banks are also increasing, but 5.5 is not bad. But second of all, you don't pay taxes when you receive that 5.5% in interest, because it's monument financing, as they call it, and that's why it's tax-free. So, and another key feature not to be forgotten about these bonds are protected bonds. It's just as you give a mortgage loan to the Curaçao Heritage Fund. So if the bank finances your home, they want a mortgage on your home. Well, if you finance the Curaçao Heritage Fund, you have a small mortgage on your bond. So in the situation that the Curaçao Heritage Fund would not repay or would not be able to pay interest or repay the bond, you still have, let's say, the mortgage right, and the agent, the agent that protects all the interests of the bondholders can then, let's say, go to court or go to execution, as a bank would do, and just, let's say, seize all the assets of the Curaçao Heritage Fund. We hope, and of course, we expect it will never go there. But of course, it gives a lot of security, a lot of trust to your investment, because you know that you're protected as an investor. And then one of my last slides is this one. Also important to mention, what we're also very proud of, to be honest, is that all our financial statements and the prospectus of our fund, the prospectus that we used to get the interest for the new bonds that we issued earlier this year, the 16.5 million, that all the financial statements and the prospectus are publicly available because we are listed on the DCSX. So if you go to the website of the DCSX, as you see on top of the slide, and you go to markets, and then you click bonds, and then you click Curaçao Heritage Fund, you have all the financial statements and the prospectus available, so you can completely understand what the Curaçao Heritage Fund is about, how the financials have developed over the years. So we are completely transparent in that regard. So I think that's basically the key features that I wanted to discuss with you today for the Curaçao Heritage Fund. And the contact details. So we have our own website, of course, curacaoheritagefund.com, easy to remember. And then Bharat and my details are also there. So hopefully this was something interesting from the more financial part of monuments.
Thank you, Mr. Walter Blijleven from the Curaçao Heritage Funds. Well, we're moving on to the next. The next topic will be Kaya Kaya. I think most of us, if not all of us, know Kaya Kaya. But now we're going to see a video, and then Regan Zuiverloon will talk to you about how it started, how it's going, and how it's developing.
In the heart of Willemstad, where cultures collide and creativity thrives. Join us on an unforgettable journey through the streets of Otro Banda.
Vem maga lenha, rojão, traz a lenha pro fogão, vem fazer armação. Hoje é um dia de som, alegria de cordão, é curtir o verão.
As the sun sets, our streets transforms in a mesmerizing wonderland. It's a place where dreams come to life and reality blurs with imagination. Thank you for joining us in this incredible journey where our community, music, food, art, culture, and people unite to create a masterpiece of unforgettable moments. This is Gaya Gaya, and this is our story.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation for being here today. My name is Rachel Zuiverloon, one of the founders of Curacaoan, together with Curaçao and Clayton Lasted. We just celebrated our 5th year in August. 2018 we started, and it was basically a party. Let's bring people together and let's build social cohesion for the area of Outra Banda. We had idea that it would be a success, but we didn't have idea that it would be, what it turned out to be actually. A festival that we can leverage to leave it better behind, as our slogan said. So basically what we do is we make improvements to impact social, economic, environment, and culture. 2008, when we started, there were like 6-7 murals, street art. Now there are more than 50. So we can actually call Outra Banda right now an art district. When we started also, there were not many bars, restaurants, accommodation was growing, but now there's a lot and it's even growing. So that's why we're also working with the CDB right now to see how we can also promote that as such, and also as a festival itself to really make it a destination festival. Like we had approximately 1,500 people coming from abroad, and we target 5,000 in the upcoming years. But also for the upcoming 5 years, we're looking also into branding in Outra Banda, because Outra Banda doesn't have a brand, so we're thinking about doing Amor pa Outra Banda. And the next couple of years, we're going to focus also on Bredestraat. Because if you notice in Willemstad, it's mostly the outskirts that is improving more rapidly, but the core, in this case, Outra Banda, the main street, Calle Grande, is not really developing, and that's why we're starting a creative hub, hopefully by beginning of next year, and going to do more activities. So not only the festival, but also year-round. And that is our plans for the upcoming, say, 2 to 3 years. We're working with a lot of partners. We have around 30 of them, private and public. We have for other PPP, as we call it positive peer pressure, you can say. Yes, basically, if you start painting, you notice the other gonna paint, fixing the hole, fixing the lights and things like that. And it actually works. Just so leveraging in the festival party, just like you have a party at home, you're gonna clean it up, and everybody's gonna join the party. So hopefully, for upcoming years, you guys will join us too in improving Outra Banda.
Thank you so much, Dejan. Like the song said,
let's go.
Let's go. And Curaçao has the world domina. Yes, that is basically the intention of this summit, to develop Curaçao in our Willemstad in such a manner that the world will know about us and will not want us to stop. We have seen 2 nice videos of the UNESCO districts of Willemstad. We will now continue with representatives of these 4 districts. Before I was wrong by requesting the storytellers to sit here all together. That was not supposed to be like that, but now it is. This time, we will have a panel discussion with representatives of the 4 districts. We call forward Michelle Metz of Downtown Management Organization, DMO. And we will first call all of them, and then we will show videos of every district. The second one is Jacqueline Seibold from Outra Banda.
Next, we will call Max van Gennep. He's from the Foundation Pieter Maai, Penstraat, and surrounding. And last but not least, Lisa Ye de Wind. I haven't seen her.
No, probably she will not make it, but Marcel.
Okay.
Of District Scharloo.
Applause.
Here they are. Yes.
You can take a seat.
We will now watch the videos of every district, and two of the videos will be accompanied by a small short presentation as well. That will be Outra Banda and Scharloo.
Okay.
Let's start with the videos.
First video.
Okay, there's a short, small hiccup because this was a very nice video, but we knew this video already. It was the promotional video. So there's another video of Punda, which we will try to get to you so that we can still see it. Yes?
The other ones.
Yes. Let us see if it is possible technically to still show the other ones while you will be getting the.
Okay.
Yes, so we will see the other short films, and after that we will hopefully be able to see the real video. So let's continue with the second one.
I think there's been a confusion about the films, the videos, because this isn't the video you sent either. Okay, so I think there's a confusion about the videos we have to see right now. So maybe can you do this is yours? Okay.
This is the video.
This is the video presentation of Outra Banda. And then your presentation. Okay.
Okay, so
let's see the video.
All's well that ends well.
Welcome to Outra Banda. I present to you a unique opportunity to invest in a culturally rich neighborhood. It's a short video. You can press play. 2 seconds.
A tarde com sol tá bonita, ora que o solo tá barra, ora tu para, tá canta feliz, prometo na mais sossegar.
As Regent has said, with all the culture and Kaya Kaya has meant so much for Outra Banda, and together with investors, we complement each other. Outra Banda, which is rich with its rich history and vibrant ambiance, is a key area in Curaçao, now ripe for sustainable development and investment. Recent growth in tourism and ongoing revitalization efforts present a lucrative opportunity in real estate, hospitality, and local businesses, and more. CTB, you have heard, we reached the 500,000 mark, and will be growing on the island in tourism. This we showed you in 2 years ago. This is Curacaoan. We just wanted to do a before and after. This is what it looks like now in Otra Banda. These are different before and afters developments that have been made. This is where the beautiful mural of Francis Ling is. This is the viaduct, which is the sala, and it's great artwork. Together with Sete Bay, we made the mosaic stairs, which look amazing. This is also a monument that through Kaya Kaya, they created this art piece. And this is the stage next to the viaduct, which also has art and people can walk through. Investment in Otra Banda have already yielded successful ventures in culinary hotspots, art galleries, and boutiques, and boutique hotels, enhancing the area's appeal. There you have Myra's Kitchen and Rustique. You have the shops at Curaolanda, the boutique hotel called Cas de Lamang. This is the artist community. Investing in Otra Banda also impacts the local community, preserving its heritage while fostering economic growth. Here you can see 3 of our neighborhood artists thriving their art gallery. These are opportunities. In Otra Banda, the opportunities are endless, and what we can create in this neighborhood is only an investment away. So join us shaping the future of Otra Banda. Be part of this exciting journey in Curaçao. Let's develop Otra Banda. And if there are any questions after, we'll be sitting in the panel.
Thank you so much. So nice to see. We will try the Bunda video again. And this time, let me see if Michelle approves. And that's the right one.
Thank you. I think it was worth the wait, right? It was worth the wait, definitely. Can you imagine Punda in a few years, lively and lively and vibrant like it used to be? We're getting there. Okay, our next video. Are we ready?
One second. Did Peter May have an own video? No. No, but just show the generic one. Yes, thank you very much. And then that will bring us to Scharloo.
I think you can skip the generic just to save some time. Yes, thank you. I'm here to represent Hi, Lisa. Next time, please take over the. Yeah, I've been promoting this verjonging, yeah, the younger group for years, but it doesn't seem to be very helpful, this promotion. So, guys, let's join the bandwagon. We're out of here in a couple of years. Anyway. Scharloo, we said we're going to present, you can go to the next slide. We're going to present some unfiltered, real stuff impressions, very short. I promised to keep it to 3 minutes, it will be 6. The good thing we are talking about the looking up and the looking out of our area here. Looking up is the fact that we have some very loyal businesses still being housed in the area, so it can still be, and mainly that part of Scharloo can still be called the business district of Curaçao, of Willemstad. And but on the other side, we have some notable buildings that are vacant for quite a while. I get back to that in a minute. Thank God, and you must have heard it from the minister earlier, we have domeinbeheer coming back to Scharloo, and OECS is also still eyeing coming back to the area. But then is the case we need more. And as is the case with most of these government agencies, it takes place at a snail pace. Next one, please. This is about the development, real estate development in the area. As you can see, and you can't miss it, we have the wharf next door that seems to be opening up at the end of this year. And but then in the same breath, you can say urgent attention is needed to develop and repurpose some empty buildings. And we have here the public library, but we still, at the end, we have the old bestuurscollege. Next one, please. Then from a hospitality and tourism standpoint, the boutique Atelier Scharloo Hotel is opening up in 24. They had some problems with refurbishing. It took a little bit and some problems with the contractors, but they're on a roll now and they're opening up. next year. And Scharloo is also still popular for the events. Next door, we have the Maritime Museum, La Vie en Rose, Villa Royale, and the Papa Pom Pom party of last weekend. The Ritz extension that has been completed, and the word has it that Corendon will buy it and take over. And then, looking out, we still have a certain type of tourism in the Bargestraat, which is not completely desirable. Next one, please. Private initiatives are taking place, and that's wonderful. Still upgrades the Plaza Herman Leiba, and the master plan of Fleur de Marie is being constructed as we speak. And next year we'll have a master plan, and that basically will be the base for further development of that area up there. Again, some public points of attention. It's a stretched area, and that cooperation in the area is quite difficult. It's 1.1 kilometers from one end to the other. And we have a significant sewage problem in the area. And those are things that the private sector can't just solve. So that's a cry, and very poor maintenance of streets and sidewalks. So next one. On a good, on a positive note, the area of Swan is currently being worked on by a working group under guidance of Mr. Yukuma. And they have been working on development strategies for the area. And then also on the downside of the social aspects, the west side of Scharloo, and I just mentioned it, Bargestraat, has been socially deteriorating for the last couple of years. Its prostitution is taking up with a vengeance, if I may say so, and no enforcement is taking place, and we see that part of the area sliding, and we really ask for firm action by the government entities, because this is this is a very sore element in this area. But on that note, we are still working as entities and businesses in the area to really make this this area something that comes back from an incubator status to a very positive area. Thank you.
Thank all of you for your presentations, and we would like you to sit down to have a short panel discussion.
But before we start with a panel discussion, I would like to call the owner of a car with number K4894. K4894, please report at a registration counter, and they will guide you through the process.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
4 districts. Do you guys meet amongst each other quite often? Do the 4 districts, the representatives, do they meet amongst each other?
Not too much, but we do encounter each other very frequently, and then we catch up. And there's, of course, there's themes in that we all encounter that we find very important. So, but I think all of us are maintaining businesses of our own, next to doing a thing for the neighborhood that you stand for. So it takes up some time. Well, we try our best.
It does indeed, but still we see, especially if we look back to 2019, and now we see many developments that have taken on. What would each of you consider the biggest success in the last 4 to 5 years? Each of you.
Yeah, a strong pool for living space and much more buzz in the inner city.
Much more buzz already. And it's not
Yes.
enough because we want it to vibrate even more.
Of course.
But we have seen that development. What do you consider the biggest success?
Well, I think Pieter Maai is very turning into a very culinary district. I believe there's 37 restaurants in the neighborhood, which only counts a few streets. And that's excellent news. I think tourism on Curaçao is going to take a little bit of a turn. You're going to see more properties on beach-based properties, all-inclusive properties. And I think that Pieter Maai, as a district on itself, is really focusing on the more boutique side, the more fine dining side, the more places with which have their very own characteristics to sell. And that keeps growing in Pieter Maai. Another thing that we as a foundation managed, that's something that we are pretty proud of. We since the beginning of COVID, well, no, it's like in COVID, everything shut down. And what we did, we started with a new website promoting our neighborhood, which is up and running for quite a few months now, almost more than a year. And what we did is we started a project with Google Ad Grants. Of course, everybody knows Google. Everybody knows advertising, and Google is a large part of it. And what the Foundation Pieter Maai acquired is a subsidy. What's the English subsidy? Subsidy. Ah, well, which we got in advertisement. So being a non-profit, standing for World Heritage, of course. So that's one example of a something that we have as a positive thing about it. So we acquired that subsidy, and that counts for $10,000 per month in free advertisement. And we're now rolling this out as a foundation. So that means that like 10 of the companies within Pieter Maai are starting to promote themselves as a well-doer, as a like you support the foundation, you support the heritage neighborhood of Pieter Maai, and that's all being done with free money. So to say. And that's something that Pieter Maai has acquired, and well, you'll be seeing more of that in the coming years, I hope, if we keep rolling this out.
I don't know if that would be possible for the other districts as well.
Yes.
I don't know if they are.
I've been in discussion with somebody from Punda already.
Yeah. No, I think this would be good for all of them, and it takes a long time. We've been working this for 3 years, so on the side, but it's possible, and that's also acquiring money from other countries. Well, this Google.
Same thing. What about Punda?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain that in one thing, because I think there's so many things happening since 2019. But I think the biggest development is housing. If I have to look back at everything, I remember in 2019, we were here as well. I think there were 30 to 35, maybe 40 apartments. And today we have between 125 and I would say 40, right, Timothy? Apartments in the inner city, in Punda dus. So I think that is one of the biggest developments for Puna to make it a vibrant city. We are aware, and we have seen from our other sister districts, that living brings the vibrancy and brings the people in. And I'm very pleased that the property owners currently are really investing. And I think COVID was the eye opener for that. It was a time where everybody had time to think about what are we going to do to get out of this situation, and everybody started investing and working on their apartments. So I think that's the biggest one. I would like to mention also Horeca. We have a lot more restaurants since 2019 in Puna, and we have a lot more who are going to be opening in the near future. So I think those are the two biggest developments, plus the addition of a lot more events, bringing people, the locals as well as the tourists. But our ponencia is we want also locals to come to Puna, and not only the tourists or the cruise tourism or the stay over, but to have a complete, let's say, yeah, more people from everywhere to come to Puna.
Come back to Puna. And what about Outra Banda?
Outra Banda has had many changes. One of the biggest one is the artwork in all the streets through the Kaya Kaya, with collaboration with private equity and many sponsors. I think one thing that came from this is everyone wants to come live in Outra Banda because you have the flavor of Curaçao, still the local and new housing. And I hope we don't lose that the locals are shifted out. 'Cause
Gentrification.
Yes, that would be a shame, because the whole heart of Outra Banda is the melting pot of everyone together.
We have been mentioning that for years, and it remains a point of attention. Okay, let me check in the audience. Is there anything that you didn't hear about the 4 districts, but that you consider a real success over the last few years?
If I might say, I've been busy with, of course, like organizing this. I think one of the reasons Outra Banda for me is just booming. If you see what's happening there, it's one of the success stories, I think, of the island, and it keeps on going like that. But I think this type of conference helped Outra Banda to where it is today. Before that time, it wasn't happening. See what's happening in Frederikstraat. You see what's happening up in Serie Outra Banda. And I agree with you. It should be a mix of people living, but also, of course, some tourists staying there. I think that would be great for the thing. But I just wanted to say that Outra Banda, in my opinion, is the one that really put their head up and took off. And I hope Scharloo will be next. Peter May also, of course, is incredible. But what Scharloo and Punda, I think Punda is on the verge, but Scharloo has a lot of work to do, but we should get there.
Yes. I have a last question for each of you. How do you envision your district in about 10 years? Where are you?
Oh, that I can see clearly in the vision that restaurants in Bredestraat, we're not there yet. Upstairs apartments, I don't know. We didn't decide yet if it's going to be for the workers, because there's so many hotels in the area, or if it's going to be tourist or stagiaire. That we still have to decide what will be best fit. But definitely little art galleries, little bars. We have all the little streets in the back. I see the people who live in their houses telling the story of their houses so they can make some income also. So I definitely see the future of Outra Banda.
Thank you. Punda.
Punda. I forgot to mention just now, one thing I just want to add. One of the biggest developments in Punda is the Majestic project that actually took off, and which is also, it's the hotel industry also coming into Punda. Although we had 2 little ones, making a huge difference in Punda. How do I see Punda? Wow, we have a little ways to go, like Billy said, but we're well on our way. I see, of course, a lot more living. When you bring the people to Puna to live, automatically you're going to see, I see bars, cafechas, but more like bars. We have an area where we would like to call the bar street. We also have areas, specific areas that we can see Horeca, but I have to add as well, this is where city management comes into play, at least for Puna as well, because like Billy said, we're on a verge, but we need that assistance for that sustainable urban development. And not, as a demo voorzitter, we don't have always that, that knowledge. So I think to have an sustainable urban living, and restaurants, because that also has to do with it. We see a lot more events in Puna. We see a lot more different kind of, retail will always be in Puna no matter what. We see different kind of retail as well. Of course, everybody wants to see the big box brands, etc. But we see that I can tell you from now, I think in the last month, Puna has 5 buildings have been sold in the month of November to new owners and new people coming to Puna. So that's my vision as well, because as we have older families in Puna, now the younger generations are going to start taking over to be able to go through that process to make it the vibrant process. So just like Otra Banda, the art street, we are building on that. The bar street, we're building on that. The living and accommodations, we're working on that. The hotel industry, apartments with APC, hopefully very soon in the near future. That is going to be a huge, huge, huge addition to Punda. And I'm hoping it will be in the next 10 years, but that's what I see as the vision for Puna. So it's a mixture of culture, of art, of living, and there are museums. We have a new museum that will be an additional museum. So the Jewish Museum is going to be doing a huge uitbreiding. They're going to be taking the entire building. They're going to be doing a renovation from Inhanchi Snowa, the entire building. And we're going to be getting a satellite Anne Frank museum dedicated to Curaçao. And the building will start in January. And there's another tentoonstelling from Maduro that will be coming in there as well. So that is going to be huge. And I heard today that the end of 24 is when the project will be realized and the entire Hanchi Snowa will get a new breath of fresh air with museum and culture.
Very nice. Very nice plans for the future. Thank you. Peter Mai.
Well, I think there's at this point there's 1 big hotel and 10 small hotels in Pietermaaie, and I know there's like 4 small hotels in development at this point, and 1 very large one, the Pen Resort, of course. So there will definitely be more tourism in the center in Pietermaaie, which I think is a good thing. On the other side, there's a lot of being done to get more events in the neighborhood. So we see live music from local artists every Saturday now. We have live music every Thursday. We have events like the Christmas market, Oud en Nieuw, New Year's Eve, which are being held again. Plus there's some very interesting new events. Pietermaaie Live is a new sort of company of well-doers that try to put more music in the neighborhood in a very classy way, by the way. So like until 11 o'clock, so you can all go to bed early. So in this case, you will see more tourists and more local visitors in Pietermaaie and meeting up. And I think that's exactly what we want. Plus, of course, there's going to be some renovating, some streets being renovated, which is always very welcome, about the shared street use that we heard earlier. These are all very good things. So I think you're going to see a lot of development in Pietermaaie, in all. Yeah.
Thank you. The last one.
Yeah.
Scharloo.
Yeah. The area of extremes. I see further development of this wonderful mix of residential, businesses, retail very limited, some bars and restaurants. I see some growth there, but the most exciting thing, I believe, if we can make it in 10 years, is that we get this beautiful mix of all these cultures in reality. We keep on talking about that in the city. We really live it here, day to day. And I think we can build on this with a little bit of help, of course. Some things we cannot do as a private sector. We really need some help. And we're waiting, of course, for our shared street. That's something there where we hope that the government also will step into the future. Because as people say, yeah, you have the most beautiful street in town with all those mansions out there and beautiful buildings. Yeah, but we have to do a little bit about the infrastructure as well. But the most wonderful thing is the diversity of the people. And if we can get those together in a total concept, which we call Scharloo, that would be our dream.
So for 2033, Willemstad will be vibrating with residential projects.
Hotels, cafes,
events,
businesses,
business, diversity, culture, all of that in all 4 districts. And that will be for a great part thanks to you guys. So a big applause for them.
Yes, thank you very much. A lot of success in all of your plans. And we'll be waiting. Thank you.
Stay updated.
Thank you.
To get to in another 10 years, you will have to have started already or about to start right now. And we will be hearing from Stephen Damiana if that is indeed the case. He will be presenting investment and business opportunities in and around Willemstad. With you, Stephen Damiana of the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, I will be not presenting the whole business opportunities, but what I will be presenting is the different images of what has been submitted as investment objects in 2023. But before I go there, my name is Stephen Damiana. Some of you, or most of you, or all of you have received an email from me. And I'd like to welcome all of you because each one of you actually took the time to actually be here at this moment. I'd like to emphasize what Billy indicated. When you're later at the lunch, don't get stuck into watching what color the badge is. Stick your hand out, shake hands, and network, because if there's a match, you might be amazed of who you're talking to. Sticking to the badges, you will see some people wearing the green badges. These are the investment object owners or representatives thereof. So if you are in the room, please just show your hand if you have a green badge. Yes, so people know who to speak to later on. If you can continue to the slides of what you can see on our website. If you want to see the details of these investment objects, you go to investinwillemstad.com. You go to locations, you will see an interactive map coming up. And in that interactive map, you will see some pins. You just click on the pin and then you will see details. If there's a price, there's a price, and also the contacts of who to contact for that. We have received 1 from Punda, 4 from Scharloo, 6 from Pietermaaien, and 8 from Otrobanda. So through the map, you will see the pins, and if you go in mobile, you can also scroll down to the bottom and you will see them also appear, so you can click on them and see every detail of these investment objects. So that's my part for today. And again, welcome. Thank you.
That was short, Stephen. Thank you.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
As promised, so we can keep to the timing we have.
Okay. Is this interesting? How are you feeling today? How are you feeling right now? Good. Yes. Okay. So I think it's time to go to lunch now, right?
Yes, so that the much needed mingling can take place. The ones who came here to see what are possible investment opportunities. Have you seen anything that you are interested in? Yes. No, not really. Not really. I don't believe that. I believe that a lot was shown that has great potential. So we will see the mingling taking place.
Later on, yes.
Yes. Well, the lunch will take place
At Villa Maria.
In the building next to
Next
this
to
one.
us, yes.
So you are invited to join us for the lunch.
And at 2 o'clock, we will be back because this whole event, Invest in Willemstad 2023, will continue till 5 o'clock.
Yes.
So at 2 o'clock, we will be back here and we'll be waiting. Have a good lunch and we'll see each other later.
Yes.
Now from underneath my crazy past to me, you wanna pick my sorrow, but I will fall tomorrow. I'm getting out from underneath my crazy past to me, you wanna pick my sorrow, but I will fall tomorrow. I'm getting out from underneath my crazy past to me. Just still can't hold on. I'm ready to show it. Now I see what's going on. I don't want to get down from underneath my crazy past. You wanna be my sorrow. I don't want to get down from underneath my crazy past. You wanna be my sorrow. I don't want to get down from underneath my crazy past. You wanna be my sorrow. I don't want to get down from underneath my crazy past. still get on. So I'm not afraid to join it. Just still get on. So I'm not afraid to join it. Just still get on. So I'm not afraid to join it. So now let's see what's going on.